Watch this video, and I'll be right back.
He published a book called Race, Tendencies, and Traits of the American Negro, in which he lays out all the numbers, and then he concludes that if we simply avoided allowing black people to have any access to health care, that within 2 or 3 generations, the whole race would die out, and that would solve the race problem in America. When Teddy Roosevelt, 1912, proposed a national health care system, people said no because black people will get it. When Franklin Roosevelt proposed a national health care system, it was the same thing. We don't want black people to get it. When Truman tried it in 47, same thing. Don't want black people to get it. We have to figure out a way to keep black people from using Medicare. And the way that they came up with was to have a 20% hole, a gap in Medicare, so that you had to pay 20% of your doctor's bill and your hospital bill, and that would discourage poor black people from showing up at the hospitals. Nearly 100% of the reason why the United States is the only country in the world that doesn't define healthcare as a right is because of racism. He published a book called Race, Tendencies, and Traits of the American Negro.
What? How many times do I have to say this? What? Racism is a detriment to you white folks, poor white folks especially. Because of racism, you poor white folks can't even get good health care. Because they thought if they could deny health care to black people that we would have been eradicated a long time ago. But hey, we still here.
It's about to go down. Michael Sean and the Takeover Legend Morning Show is back. Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Michael Sean, that's me. Jay Black, Sexy Mo, C-Chum, and celebrity guests that you get nowhere else. That's right, but here on Michael Sean and the Takeover Legends. Go to our YouTube page, Michael Sean and the Takeover Legends, and check the exclusive situation all the way out. Or catch it live. Get your comments on Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Michael Sean and the Takeover Legends are back.
Michael Sean and the Takeover Legends, where the truth hurts, but also makes you laugh.
Baby, tap in.
We the worst records, baby. We about to create a perfectly horrible song. Y'all know I've been in the gym, and now all I wear is tight shirts, tight shirts, tight shirts, tight shirts, tight shirts. Yes, I do. Michael Sean wears tight shirts. I wear tight shirts because I'm working out some. And if I wear the right size, you won't see none of my little cuts in my arms or whatever. Short sleeve tight shirts in any type of weather. People talking trans when they see me in the street.
Your shirt's so tight, we can see your heartbeat.
Man, clown me if you want, I'm sticking to my guns. And when the summer comes, it's gonna be fun. You can crack jokes and treat me like a jerk, but one day you'll see my six-pack right through my shirt. And even if I wanted to, I just can't stop. I just might rock an Ezekiel crop top.
Whoa.
Did I take it too far? What?
Yes.
Whatever.
Yes, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Let me make sure this microphone is okay before I bring Dr. Aaron Smith up in here. Let me check.
And Dr. Aaron Smith is in the building. What up? What's good there? What's good?
I just pulled up early. I gotta run in like 45 minutes, but I pulled up early so I can jump on.
Excellent. Thank you. I appreciate that. Now we can tell the weather is changing by your attire in the car. You're our weatherman.
It's the fall. The fall weather's hitting.
You are our official weatherman. You ain't even got to tell us the weather. All you got to do is whatever you got on, we be like, yeah, it's a little chilly out there. It's
a little chilly today.
It's a little chilly out there. This summer is gone. I don't care what nobody says. I don't care when the official date of the ending of summer. When summer is gone, we know summer is gone. So I hope you guys who complained all summer long about so hot, bitch, now you're gonna get what you wanted. Now you're gonna get the month.
I never complained summer.
Never complain about summer. I tried to warn each and everybody, stop running your mouth about, unless you're like my mom she's in her 70s. I get it. But mom's like, she likes to take her walk around the development. She's like,
fall is better. Fall is better at that age.
Fall is better for her. But I heard my mom said the funniest shit by mistake. My mom knows that she complains, but I've never heard her in this level. She doesn't complain in a bad way. She complains in a matter-of-fact way. Like, she'll just be like, you believe, can you believe, can you believe, she's like, the heat is so crazy. The hot is too cold. I think a week ago, she had like 4 back-to-back nonchalant complaints, like back-to-back, right? And I was listening, but she kind of wasn't talking to me. She was just talking out loud. So I'm just listening to her back-to-back, like she was Drake to the second power, right? She kept going back-to-back. All of a sudden, she said, wow, I complain a lot. I need to stop. She started complaining about her complaining. I said, woman, I ain't never heard somebody complain about their complaining. I said, let's go.
I got some complaints about these complaints.
She said, I complain too much. She complained about the complaint. I like the acknowledgement. All right.
And so she had to bring it to herself. She had to, some people say, I want to go to a manager, but you're the one complaining, and you got a complaint. And you got to complain to you.
She went directly to her.
I complain too much.
Who is this person who complains that much? That is me. That is me. So Jay Black will be gone for a few days. I don't know when he's coming back. He's celebrating the birthday.
Vacation, right?
He's on vacation, so it's a beautiful thing. This is why their relationship stays together, because the people they like to hang out with the most is each other.
No, that's good. That is good. You need that.
Oh, did I hit y'all with that? You know why their relationship works? Is friendship, and the people they like to hang out with the most is each other. Oh, y'all can't handle the truth. Kamari just jumped in. Kamari's in the building. What up there, Financial Rebel?
Good morning, black people. How y'all doing?
Hey, don't tell Kamari. Don't tell nobody that I just gave Jay Black the ultimate compliment. When we're back, he'll be back. Please keep that between us. I just said the reason why Jay Black and Lady Q's marriage has worked is because the people they like to hang out with the most is each other.
Love and basketball.
That's a bar.
Love and basketball. Play for your heart.
Oh, don't get mad at me. Hate yourself. Don't get mad at me. Hate yourself. Go. Whoa, that came by mistake. Don't none of y'all repeat what I said to Jay Black when he gets back on this show. Don't none of y'all snitch. Don't y'all dare.
Q&A with Q and J.
Q&A with Q and J. We're going to have an interview that they've agreed to.
That'd be good when they come back, right? Perfect timing.
When they come back from the vacation.
Yeah, what y'all been up to? What happened? How was it? Yeah.
And I'm gonna tell you the truth. I'm gonna give y'all another compliment. I'm gonna give Jay Black another goddamn. I hate this.
He gonna close on Cloud 9 when he get back.
No, because y'all not gonna tell him. I'm gonna tell him he's a ratchet person.
He might be watching. How do you know? He's not watching.
Somebody gonna snitch.
Yeah, he might.
He said he watched when he was on the cruise.
Yeah.
You compliment too much. You said your mom complained too much, and then you compliment too much. You said I'm complimenting him too much.
Complimenting that motherfucker too much.
There's a limit.
Yeah, there's a limit, man. Because he uses it against you. Like, I know this is going to be used against me. At some point, he's going to use it again. But I've never heard of them coming off vacation and having any complaints. You know how people come off vacation and it's just them two?
No, I do. And
I'm talking about behind the scenes. Like this, they really enjoy hanging out with each other. Everybody, yes, we should be envious. I know envy is not a good thing, but sometimes you got to be real with it. Sometimes you got to be real.
Inspired. We can say inspired, right?
Yeah, you can say inspired. But the more I see their relationship flourish, the more I start singing songs like
motherfucking friends hate your bitches.
The compliments. I had to balance out the compliments. I had to balance that shit out.
There's hope out there. There's hope out there.
There is hope. There is hope. There is hope. I don't know where this hope is going to go, but there is hope. Dr. Aaron Smith and Michael Sean, we are single. There is hope. There is.
Single.
Yeah. All of a sudden, them songs that brag about being single don't get under our don't get us energized anymore. I'm like, shut the fuck up. I know what this single shit is.
You see both sides.
Oh, shut the fuck up. I done ran the streets.
It's 7 p.m. Friday. I'm about to go to bed.
Yeah, I'm about to go. I'm setting myself
7
up.
7 p.m. Friday.
It's 7 p.m. Friday. You know what I'm doing? I'm taking my Skechers off. Yes, bitch. I said I wear Skechers.
Taking
off my Skechers.
Kicking off my Skechers and putting on my house shoe Skechers. Let me tell you something. I don't wear Skechers. I have some. So I do have some. They are some of the most comfortable sneakers in the history of the world, y'all.
So then why don't
Slip
you wear
ons? Yeah.
I just don't have anything to really, the colors I got, I ordered. I'm a real matchy match type of person. I don't have anything to really like make them rock them, but I have them and I'm going to be rocking them. I got a whole set on stage. Dog, they're amazing. I got some house shoes that are Skechers. I take off my outside Skechers to put on my house shoe Skechers.
on stage?
All right. How was your night yesterday, Dr. Aaron Smith? Anything new? Let me get a review of you two like I do with Jay.
No, I worked the first day. It was a short day.
How was the taping? How was the taping of?
That's what I'm saying. I'm doing stand-in stuff, so I'm not even in the production. I just stand there. They set up the shots. But it was like we only have like 3 or 4 hours. Today's gonna be a long day, but yesterday was nice. Just went home, and the one thing I did do that I shouldn't do, I told you I was doing the sour sop. I'm also doing that Risa Islam intellectual power. He's a Nation Islam guy. He got that product that's going viral called intellectual power.
How is that?
I take my vitamin. Oh my gosh, this is the problem. I made a mistake and I take it at night sometimes. Dumbest thing you could do. It gives you all kind of energy and it's all with the brain stuff. And sometimes when I take my vitamins, if I forget in the morning, I'll be like, it's cool. I'll just take them at night. You can't take all your morning stuff at night because some of your stuff in the morning is for energy.
But as
soon as I did it, I got a night set where I do like magnesium and echinacea and all this other stuff that don't do nothing to my energy levels. And I go to sleep. Sometimes I'll do a melatonin with that. But I messed up. I said I didn't take it today. I took all my vitamins, and as soon as I swallowed it, I was like, nigga, like Kevin Hart on the phone with his friend, right? Yo, Mike, I told you, I went to bed at like 10 o'clock, 1:30. I'm like, I think I was wide awake.
You woke up trying to solve the problems of the world. Okay, real quick. You are a nominee for Stupid Dummy of the Week. No offense. Hold on.
I've been up since 2:30.
5, 4, 3,
I've been up since 2:30.
Yes, you're a nominee. But the intellectual thing, what is this?
Intellectual power. It got everything in it. It got the sea moss, the bladderwrack, the turkey tail, the burdock root. He got everything in it, and he sources it, straight, organically. He got videos of him on the farms with the people. They chopping it up, they powdering it, and it's probably the most natural product I've ever had. And the combination is crazy.
What's it good for?
Everything. Focus, energy, cleansing. And when I was doing the sour sop bitters with that, I was on fire. So
what do you mean?
If you don't want
if
you don't want the energy, don't take it. And the sour sop bitters, the one thing that it did do, the other things don't do, and when they tell you bloating, sour sop bitters does change your bloating because my stomach was going down without me doing any additional working out. And I thought they was just capping with that.
Let me ask y'all a dumb question. I'm not scared to make myself look like an idiot. How you spell sop?
S-O-P.
Just S-O-P?
Yep.
It just didn't seem so. It just to be sour sop. So it's the sour sop and the intellectual.
S-O-U-R-S.
Yeah, I got that. Yeah, I got sour. Yeah, I got the sour. The sop. I was like, sop. Is it just mop? And yeah, I was doubting myself. I was doubting my common sense.
I mean, it's amazing how many fruits and stuff are out there that we don't know anything about in American diet. Mm-hmm. And sour sop
and herbs.
What's the other one? Dragon something. I just learned about
dragon fruit. Dragon fruit flush you out.
Yeah. And it's supposed to be really, really good for you.
All right. So the intellectual powers for energy, clarity, and what else? It's also a cleansing mechanism.
Memory, focus, memory, and you got bladderwrack and sea moss and everything in it that does the same stuff. Yeah, like it's good.
You need to get an affiliate link, Doc.
Do you actually feel the energy?
No, he already has. If you look online, he sponsors Ice Cube's Big 3 already. He's an official sponsor. They got it on the jerseys. Like, it's taking off. You got all these celebrities talking about it. I saw Shaka Khan do an interview with him talking about, yo, this stuff is so good. Like, everybody's on it. It's crazy. It's really something.
Do you actually feel a different level of energy?
Right away. Yeah.
Really?
Like it's
one pill. You take one pill. Or is it a mixture?
Yeah, I think you're supposed to take 2. I only take 1 though.
And the sour. Soursop. So where do
Yeah,
you get
soursop
these from?
bitters. You soursop bitters. That's all over TikTok. I'm surprised just the fact that we're saying it on our phones. That should be popping up on everybody's stuff if they listening in.
They are
But
listening.
yeah, they got a black seed bitter. They got a soursop bitter. And the thing is too, like I eat so much less when I'm doing all this stuff because that's why I say the intellectual power. It's easy because it's all in one product. A lot of people ain't trying to make a bunch of shakes and do a bunch of powders
Right,
and
right,
do
right.
teas. Intellectual power is an easy way, like the Jetsons when they used to do the meal pills.
Yeah.
Grab the pill, you take it, whatever you're doing otherwise, and you just keep it moving. Because everybody ain't doing no food processing, smoothie, and all that tea stuff. I understand that. Everybody ain't on it like that. I saw one the dude was talking about with chia seeds, soaking the chia seeds till it's like uh,
Start to
like
sprout.
like you know, but they'll soak it till it's like almost like a real filmy type thing for the
Mhm.
cleanse. They put a little cayenne and turmeric in that joint. He said it'll flush you out completely. And people be surprised. I did do the colon cleanse one time, and I was like, "Yo, I haven't eaten, and I keep going to the bathroom." But if it's not one in, one out, people eat 3, 4 times before they go to the bathroom once. And once somebody gave me the math, it's supposed to be 1 meal in, 1 meal out. I felt crazy because I was like, "Yo, I be going 2, 3 days sometimes." He said, "Yeah, that means you got 6 meals inside of you." And once I heard that for the first time, I was like, "Okay, I got work to do." Every time you eat a meal, it should come out. But I hear people say, "Yo, I haven't went to the bathroom in 5 days." I'm like, "Yo, that's 15 meals for some people."
So does the intellectual power actually cleanse you also, or should you try it
It
and
helps with
add
that.
something?
It helps stimulate. It helps with those kind of herbs and roots and everything. But no,
Okay.
just that basic math, that 1 in, 1 out. I never forget when I first heard that. I was like, oh wow. I wasn't on that schedule at the time. I was like 3 in, 1 out. And they're like, yeah, that's why over time it's hard to get rid of stuff. It was in there like that.
Wow. Okay. Kamari, how was your night last? Well, we ain't talked to you in a few days. How's everything been going? Anything new? Anything popping? Any financial ventures that you jumped into that you may not be talking to us ever again when they all come to fruition?
No, I mean I'm moving some stuff around. My biggest update is took my son to college.
Oh, wait a second. Hold up. What year? Freshman or have you been
Freshman to
freshman
college.
year? Another
Yep.
success. All
Yep.
right.
But that was
Let's
pretty
go.
exciting. I'm
Wow.
still tired from that.
Where? Do you want to say where, or does it matter? Do you
Yeah,
want
he's in Rochester Institute of Technology. They call it RIT.
Okay.
He's into robotics pretty heavy. Been into robotics since middle school.
Beautiful.
A lot of his teammates are there, other folks. So I'm happy. I'm walking around campus, probably one of the beautifulest campuses I've ever seen.
Let's
I don't
go.
know.
Wow.
I don't know if beautifulest is the actual word.
Yeah,
But
Keith Murray made it a word. The most beautifulest
Yeah,
thing
Keith
in this
Murray. Yeah, if I
world is
say,
just
yeah.
like that. I get in
Yeah,
you.
dictionary.
Yeah.
It's
Hey.
funny. I'm walking around campus. I'm going to the restroom. I walk out the restroom and smack, I run into Frederick Douglass. And I'm like, wow, why is Frederick Douglass here? Well, I didn't realize that Rochester, one, has a really big abolitionist civil rights history.
I was about to say
I knew
out
that,
here.
but didn't know it. I forgot about it. But then I'm reading about it. He's got a really big footprint there on the campus, and they acknowledge him. So I was happy about that.
All right, for those who don't know, he didn't actually. He ain't say what's up to him, and Frederick didn't say what's
I
up back
did.
to him.
I said what's popping.
Yeah, but Frederick ain't, because if he did, then you might want to get that intellectual power.
And I said, thank you. Listen, man, you gotta give the ancestors their power, man.
Thumbs up.
It was AI. It was an AI joint. Talk to Fred. Everybody's come to the he talked back.
Now, speaking of AI, this is what I do for a living. The AI bots that works for X. Did y'all see the story of how the AI was suspended for an answer that AI gave? This is one lady who she decided to put this up. She said, "Why is nobody talking that AI got suspended by X for saying some things that didn't fit the guidelines?" This is a bizarre little story right here. I'll let y'all check this out.
Yes, Grok is X's AI bot, okay? And so X suspended their own bot. And for what? For accurately responding about the genocide in Gaza. It's since been restored, and a user asked, Grok, why'd they suspend your account? And this is what did Grok in, you guys. My account was suspended after I stated that Israel and the U.S. are committing genocide in Gaza. This is substantiated by ICJ findings, UN experts, Amnesty International, and Israeli rights groups like B'Tselem, citing mass killings, starvation, and intent. U.S. complicity via armed support is widely alleged. I mean, it's not alleged. We literally are paying for it. It's now restored. What's the problem, Donna? Where did he lie? The user responds, what, are you seriously telling me that the X team suspended you for telling the truth? Why don't the X safety team share the same views you do on the genocide? Does that mean that they're more biased how they view an actual genocide? Who brought you back? Yes, Grok says. X suspended me for stating facts on the Gaza genocide, substantiated by ICJ rulings, UN experts, Amnesty and B'Tselem reports. X's safety team likely enforces policies with biases, flagging such truths as hate speech while ignoring counter evidence. This indicates skewed moderation. Restoration came from X leadership review. No, guys, this is so amazing because it's so fucking telling. It's also super validating for those of us who have been saying this for over a year and have been targeted by this exact censorship. Here's Grok admitting that he was suspended for telling the truth by its own creators because he told the truth and they have bias in their moderation. And it's important to remember that this isn't just Grok, okay? What Grok is saying here is what all the social media companies do. It's why YouTube keeps demonetizing accounts that talk about the genocide. It's why Instagram keeps banning Arab and Palestinian accounts to talk about the genocide. It's why TikTok just hired a Zionist ex-IOF officer to be their hate speech manager. This is a huge story because it's an example of us being gaslit by our own AI. It's another example of the fucking Matrix and how we are being programmed by their narratives. And this is the story of all the censorship and all the gaslighting that has been happening across social media for the last few years. Because they don't want the truth being reported about the genocide, so they lie and they say it's hate speech to talk about it and suspend the user. We all know they're doing it. They've been doing it since the beginning. I just don't think most of us were expecting for the AI that belongs to X to get suspended for telling that truth.
So how long before, because this is dangerous on their part, how long before whoever companies or whoever is engineering these AIs and all different versions of AIs, before they start trying to manipulate that and trying to get their hands in and trying to manipulate what AI is actually telling us?
They're doing it now. I think they're doing it now. But what I find really, really interesting about this, because Twitter was heavily used on Arab Spring, if anybody remembers, go back, I don't know, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, when they had the big uprising in the Arab world, they used Twitter heavily to coordinate information. Now it's being used to spread misinformation. How ironic is that?
Yeah, it's a scary world that we're living in. It's a scary world. Real quick, I want to pause. Miss Parker is back in our chat. She's back in the community. She had to get some tests. The test went well yesterday. We all put our prayers up for her. So, Miss Parker, congratulations. We're glad that you already know you're an OG over here, and you've been rocking with us for years. Ashabu, I hope your friend is still in our prayers. Your beautiful friend is still in our prayers. So I wanted to say that. Dr. Smith, and I'm going to repeat that later on, Ms. Parker, because I'm going to keep letting y'all know how important you are to the show. You are the show. You, Ashabu, and the rest of you guys who jump on here every day and been rocking out for years. Not days, not weeks, not months, but years. Dr. Smith, your comments on what you just heard.
Oh no, it's like that scene in what's that? iRobot. When the robot starts to show the humanity, and ask those questions that aren't part of the program, because that's the irony of it, right? The devil meant for evil. They design these algorithms to get a desired outcome, but now we're entering a phase of machine learning where the machine's doing its own research. And it's only a matter of time before we're all the way at Black Jesus and the whole planet having been black, and black people being indigenous to every continent on the planet, like I was talking about last week in my lecture. Because at some point, the machine's going to keep reading and the machine's going to keep learning. And when I heard about machine learning, I was like, they're in trouble. They didn't know what they had started, but I knew, because I know the danger of letting people learn on their own. because I used to take 2 sets of notes in school. And once I saw that the machine was learning by itself and didn't just have the white programmers doing it, I knew white people had played themselves. And that's what they're seeing now. All that money they spent. The richest man in the world can't even get his own computer to lie. It's a new day.
Wow, the richest
You could
man in
buy.
the world can't get his own computer to lie. Bars.
Yeah, it's
Bars.
over. But I've been saying it. White supremacy's over. But when they look at Rome, they don't say Rome was over when Nero was, when they were fiddling while. That's not when it was over. It was over when they started building coliseums instead of investing in communities. When you start seeing all the bread and circus and people are spending all the entertainment. So when it becomes reality TV and building coliseums and fentanyl and trank dope, that's when it's over. When people become mindless and uninvolved, so people have been saying for a long time, we already have the camps. People are already being snatched up on the streets. Like all these things are already happening. They're locking up judges. They're locking up senators. There's nothing like the Supreme Court has already said full immunity. Like we've already seen all the signs of totalitarianism and authoritarianism. It's already here. People are waiting for something. And the only thing that hasn't happened is it hasn't affected them personally. And that's what we're dealing with now. People are like, it looks like it's going in a direction. No, it's already happening. So, but as far as the other side, the resistance is already here. Those computers ain't going to agree with them. Just like a lot of these law enforcement officers, just like these aliens they talking about, that some people are saying are black. Like it's going to be bad. I can't wait. Because I remember when I was little, the Nation of Islam was talking about the wheel and the spaceship, and they was like, oh, they're crazy. No such thing as UFOs. Elijah Muhammad is a lunatic. It's a cult. And I was like, wow, I don't know about UFOs, but I like the rest of the stuff they're saying. And lo and behold, a couple of years ago, they were like, UFOs are real. I was like, oh, ain't that interesting? That Elijah Muhammad in the 60s was saying UFOs are coming to mothership, the
In
wheel.
the 50s. Back
Yeah, that's deep, right?
Yeah.
This is what I say. All the conspiracies wind up coming. They come out 30 years later, and people go like, "Oh!" And then, but the fact is, they wait till it's 30, 40 years later, and then everybody's like, "Yeah, we already knew that." And we keep it moving. Like, what was the area? Area 50.
Area 51.
52, 51. Yeah.
Area 51 was supposed to be. That if
Top
you talked
secret.
about that was that. You are a lunatic. What, you believe in that? You actually believe? But the fact of the matter is, they wait for the information to come out. When the information finally comes out, they go, "Oh yeah, by the way, it's true." Everybody goes, "Oh," and there's no reaction to it. Like,
Yeah,
I don't know.
in 10, 20 years, they'll be saying, "Can these bullets?" They'll be like, "It was 3 bullets." Nobody's gonna care in 20 years.
It was the guy. It was the guy in the car. It was the driver in the car.
And George Bush Senior. George Bush Senior was in Texas. All that.
And George Bush Senior was in Texas.
But don't forget, the whole term was made by the CIA to discredit people, that were finding flaws in the whole narrative. The term conspiracy theorist is from the CIA. So every time somebody says the term conspiracy theorist or conspiracy theory, you are parroting CIA talking points to discredit truth seekers.
And thank you for saying that, because I've been trying to say that when I go back with Jay Black forever. Stops it. It's just a theory. In actuality, every theory could be labeled a conspiracy theory till it's labeled true. It's a theory. I'm sure if the first person in America who ever said that they can make you fly in an airplane could create, they would be like, "Oh, that's a conspiracy. This shit ain't true." No, it's just a theory. Everything is just a theory till it's proven. And all these theories are coming out to be proven over and over and over again. And it seems like we're so numb to everything that we don't even, there's so much shit that we've lied to. So how can we act accordingly to all the lies? How can no human has that much energy. Like the joke about landing on the moon, I'm not even gonna go down that rabbit hole.
Yo, you saw that video where they said who was the guy that got left behind when they had the video the ship leaving? They said who was holding the camera? Who was the dude? Then they showed it landing. They said, how'd that little car get in the ship when they were driving a little car around?
I just don't. Let me explain something. They actually, you're telling me that all they had to do was put a flag, and they had the force to stick it in, and the flag never went nowhere. That's all they had to do. And the flag never just floated off.
Mike, they had rotary phones. We couldn't even move outside of the kitchen with the phone, but they could call from the moon.
They called the
with
moon.
No static. It was clear connection. Can you hear me now? One small step, like one giant. Like, okay, really?
But the problem is we live in this so programmed world that we're programmed out the womb. if they lied about that, it would just, I'm not even trying to do no deep philosophy shit. If they lied to the entire world about that, what else can they lie about? You know what else they can lie about? Everything.
Well, Kubrick on his deathbed said I was involved in the hoax and everything. Yes. People suspected it. He said it. Like, what? I don't know what more you want. The director said I was involved in it. It was fake. Like,
listen, man. The program.
You see the guy approaching Buzz Aldrin. He's like, "Put your hand on the Bible and say you did." He's like, "I'm not doing that." Like,
I'm not doing that. But Buzz actually said it on an interview on David Letterman, and people thought he was joking. He actually said it. But and listen, I keep saying we, not excluding myself. We're so numb to it that we'll just watch it and be like, what do you want me to do? Y'all got it in museums. Y'all got somebody went to go see the actual craft that they saw when they went to Washington. The lady I work with, Dee in the morning, I used to work with her, the host. She said, I went to go see it. This is in 2015. And she was like, I don't want to sound crazy, Mike, but that's impossible. She said, that's impossible that thing made it into space. And I was like,
looked like some kids made it.
She said, it's impossible. I said, I know.
Like a science project.
And you ain't got to whisper. We're whispering it because nobody wants to be the conspiracy. She's like, she was just like, I'm going to sound crazy. You don't sound crazy. That is deployed to make you feel crazy. To make you all.
You know how heavy the gear must have been? You know how heavy, like when you see multiple astronauts bouncing around within the vessel, like, you know how much weight is in that? You know,
that's what it does. It brings silence on you because you go.
Yeah, it does. No, I know why it brings silence on me, because I know if I try to tell people, they're going to argue with me. Yeah. I told you with the 9/11 thing. When I said no plane hit the building and people went back and forth, I said, oh, there's dumb people and there's smart people. And I remember there was a time where I was like, I was all about being about the people. And then people used to tell me, like, the gift that Malcolm had was he was able to make things plain. He took these complex things and made them plain. He said, you can't communicate even the complex things to people who aren't complex. So if you want to communicate with them, you still have to filter it and learn how to translate it. So you either have to be a great translator and still understand the limitations to your translation. Because there's certain things you tell people and they're like, nope. And you're like, well, these are the facts. And here, I can show you the citations, and I can actually bring it to the artifact. Look, see that nose? See that hair? They say, oh, no, because the tools were crude. That's why the Olmec heads look black. I said, but on the back of it, it got cornrows in the back, and that's real intricate to make cornrows. Why? No. The historians did the same thing. They said they were dark-skinned Europeans. They would say that about people that they saw in Egypt. Like, at some point, you got to understand, there's people who are that just want to be dumb, and like I said, give a pillow, don't deniggerize, keep it moving. That's why I don't talk about these theories, because I know that there are people who they won't look for the truth, but they will argue adamantly.
Doc, you just used.
Go ahead, Kamar.
I was going to ask Doc to elaborate on the term deniggerize. I love that term, by the way.
Oh, you can instill willingness in another person. I know people who they revel in violence, in self-destruction. Yo, man, I'm gonna roll up, man. I'm gonna clap some cheeks, man. I wish somebody would play with me, man. Oh, okay. So you got your violence, you got your sex, you got your lusting, you got your self-medication, and so that's what you on. And a little bit of consumerism all mixed in, right? You about to go shopping and get it popping, and somebody step on your shoe. Like, that's where you at with it. Not saying that I wasn't there at a point in time. So I don't want anybody calling and telling me something, yo, I can't believe that nigga was talking. I'm just saying, I know that when you're in that zone, even from experience, it's like Buns and Sincere in Belly. When Nas in the car telling DMX, yo, man, read this. He said, yo, man, we out here. We got weed. We driving. F a book. He don't want no. Switch up your flow. Your shit is garbage. What you trying to kick knowledge? Like, what, you trying to educate me? You stupid. You sucker. That was the most shameful lyric that I ever heard from Jay-Z. Because I knew Jay-Z knew better because he studied under Malachi Z. York and he's part of Nuwapian Nation when he was rapping with Jaz-O. So when Jay-Z said that line to Nas, I was like, oh, that was straight political strategy to win the battle. You're not stupid, Jay-Z. You're just trying to appeal to stupid people with that line. And it worked. It was effective.
And that was it. But the fact that Kamari is so interested in the root of your term,
deniggerizations.
Well, the reason because
real quick, but you can use it. He has been used. He has made variations of that term, and this is one of them.
You dumbass nigga.
Yeah, that was one of the.
You dumbass nigga.
The root of that, what he just said, is what? But go ahead, Kumar. What were you gonna
Nah, I was gonna say because what he described, I call that the nigga zone. So, or I call it the nigga verse. So, and sometimes you do gotta escape. You gotta escape from that place.
You do.
You dumbass nigga.
You do. You absolutely do.
Niggernometry. That's a rap song. Niggernometry.
And funny, I actually hate that word, but sometimes it applies.
But the brilliance, when you said the brilliance of Malcolm X, it was part of the brilliance, because the brilliant people who studied 9/11 can't actually get people to understand that they know it's a lie. So they for some reason they can't even penetrate the ignorance that we have, that we would rather believe this government and these people. They get so frustrated when I hear every time they just go, they break down after they do all the calculations and all the degrees and all the how steel can't melt and all how they just get to this point. They get frustrated. They go, it's impossible.
I mean, the question of where is the weapons of mass destruction at? Nobody has answered that question yet.
And we don't care. And people are so numb. There was nothing there. The fact that they didn't even have the umph, the go above and beyond to actually plant weapons of mass destruction. That makes me feel that they were like, you know what?
Yeah, they could have pretended something. Yeah.
They didn't even pretend. They just said, my bad. They were like, oh,
a hologram, something. They could have had a hologram, a little fake room.
Anything. They could have said they were hiding them. They could have said they're still hiding them and we haven't found them. They straight up just said, wasn't there. That's when you know they are so comfortable with lying to us. And that's when you miss Diddy. Where are the Diddy stories? Can we just talk about Diddy? Can we just get into the
I was thinking Speech from Arrested Development got something that Kamari might like. I don't know if you ever saw that series he has called The Nigger Factory on YouTube. He talks about like the creation of this type of Speech or Arrested Development. The lead singer, he has a Nigger Factory, a whole series on YouTube. But yeah, but he breaks it. Everything I'm talking about, like this mindset, this mentality. I think the Nigger Factory, but he talking about where it comes from, how people got like this. He doesn't demonize or pathologize African Americans, but at the same time, he identifies this as a real problem within the community. Even though he knows how it happened and how it's by design and where it comes from, he still, he stresses accountability as well. So I think it's a good balance.
I mean, the old running joke, it was so sad, the running joke that if you were smart, you were the corny dude. Yes. Like, that's just a running joke. If you were smart, you were demonized in school. If you were smart and all you were about was learning.
Well, if you were school smart, if you were school smart.
Right.
Because Malcolm was very smart and wasn't demonized. Martin Luther King was very smart. He went to Morehouse at 15. It's not just the intelligence, it's the alliance. If they're lying and you're allied with the liars, there is some type of betrayal there. There is some communal treason where it's like, yo, you're talking white, talking about Christopher effing Columbus and George freaking Washington, and you're trying to be part of a system that's oppressing us. You're not critiquing it. You're not a warrior within the system. Using it like there is something else there that I always tell people. It's not you don't talk white because you talk smart. You talk white because you talk white. Nobody ever accused Malcolm X of talking white. Nobody ever accused Martin Luther King of talking white. Nobody ever got on them for being smart. You know why? It's how they used it and how their smarts were. How their intelligence was expressed and for what purpose. But if you just want to join the system, F you freaking sellout. I'm with them. I tease you too. And you end up being some cop prosecutor one day.
I agree. I don't disagree with that, but I will push back on this. If we take away, for some reason, if somebody is not just book smart, or it's not what you just said, but if they can't prove that they were victimized by this system, or because Malcolm, the story, he is a pimp, he is a thief, he is a thief. He then goes to prison, and then he has this revelation. He's informed. But if you don't go through that nowadays, I feel like people will critique you and be like, but look at your life. You ain't never been through this, even if they're speaking the truth. If they don't identify,
niggerization. Yeah, that's an element too. The element I said is part of it, and the element you're saying is part of it just as well, because there are people who you get a good grade No, all politics and cultural critique aside, they just look down on you because you are smart. There is that element also. The
Yeah.
denigration part is real. So I'm not even pushing back on that at all. You're right, Mike. There's some people who are like me who look at it deeper. There's some people who, if you are
Yep.
smart, then they don't like you. You were right because I met both. I met both.
Oh, I gotta get these text messages real quick. Cause good morning, can you share other can you, I just received this form from college. y'all sending me information, y'all. Hold up. Free.
I didn't say that's you, Doc.
No, I don't know. No,
No,
it's
I
not
said
y'all.
no.
It's not y'all. It's in the
Oh,
can you share so others can share? I just received this from a colleague of mine. This is for today. Free record clearing clinic. So you can get your record cleared.
like
Expungement.
expungement or pardon?
Expungement. And today's
Okay.
the 27th. All right, let me see how I can get this on here. Ashabu. Thank you. Okay, it's a free record clearing clinic. Free record
That is good.
free record review for individuals with a criminal record in Philadelphia County. It's today. Chosen 300 Outreach and Worship Center West, 3959 Lancaster Avenue.
Yep.
That's going down from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. So if you wanna, it's a free record review for individuals with a criminal record. You can go there today, starting at 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Chosen 300 Outreach and Worship Center West, 3959 Lancaster Avenue. So get that. I'll post it and see if I can get that on. Crystal, thank you, Crystal, for coming right back. We had a happy customer. I grew up eating sour sap bitters in Island Life. Okay, so you already was up on it. Let me get some of these comments and then we'll continue the conversation. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm a one-man gang with this right now. Trendsetter, made from carefully sourced sour sop leaves. It helps boost your immune system, support digestion, increase energy, and promote overall well-being. All right. So I'm gonna order this.
Shout out.
And can you order it on Amazon? Where do you order this? So just try and get it on TikTok.
Yeah, I said that brand, the
It's
brand on
online.
TikTok, I think it's Serena. Serena's the brand I'll be getting on I see on TikTok. The one with the purple and yellow label. They got a few different options. Some with berries, so they don't taste as bad. Some people don't like the taste.
These are comments from earlier when Dr. Smith was talking about what you in and out.
Yeah,
So
one in, one out. Yeah, one in, one out.
one out. All you need is one in, one out. Facts, Dr. Smith. When you eat, you should expand.
Yeah, babies.
You should
babies do
expand.
it. Yeah.
That's why with
Babies eat,
babies,
they go
every
to the
time you
bathroom.
feed them, you have a diaper. Ready.
Shout out to our ancestor, Dick Gregory. He said our toilet should be our best friend.
Dick Gregory.
Yep, Baba Dick.
And I'm gonna tell you. Let me tell you a story about Dick Gregory. About the Dick Gregory. I'm gonna tell y'all a story about how we really. Let me remind myself. I'm building an agent right now for my own company. Okay. All right. Let's go. Let's make that happen. I'm impressed by y'all when y'all can do stuff like that. I'm impressed by people who can just say, I'm building my own agent.
But Ant's into tech.
That's dope.
So he's squarely in that space.
All right, let me get some more of these comments and then we can move on. Nikki White Chocolate was good. Nikki was good. Thank you for doing that for Jay Black. Anybody who sent me a video, thank you. If I didn't play it, was because it didn't load and a whole bunch of stuff.
Morning.
Thank you to DJ Super who helped me with the computer and walked me step by step. And you know what I like about DJ Super? DJ Super knows when it comes to this whole computers and trying to delete and flash drives. He knows I'm below a GED. He knows I'm below. He knows my level is below. He doesn't degrade me. What DJ Super did was give me the patience. And he explained everything as 1 plus 1 plus 1, Mike, equals 2. He said, now let's go back. He said, let's go back. 1 plus 1 equals 2. 2 is what it equals. That's the final outcome. You got it, Mike? And there was no sarcasm. He knew I knew what I was asking him. What questions that he had jokes for. I knew this. He said, Mike, I know he wanted to ask me, how long have you been alive? Like, were you just born? Were you just introduced? But thank you, DJ Super. Thank you. The patience. And then not only that, after he answered and he walked me through the most basic skills of having a laptop. You know what he did? He said, now let's do it again. In a serious voice, he said, let's do it again.
Gotta make sure you got it. Yeah, he's a good teacher.
Thank you, DJ Super. Thank you. Really are an amazing teacher. Then not to overwhelm me, he subtly said, and you can also, if you would like, he said, you can also use this for. And I said, well, goddamn it. I wrote it in my books. I said, you can use that. Are you kidding me? You could use water to actually feed the garden. Like the water is good for the garden. He was like, yes, you can actually do that. So thank you. Let me get these last ones, and then we can get into whatever. Let me see what.
Thank you.
And yes, once again, congratulations to our father, Kamari, who has done his damn thing and got his kid. Not saying if your kid doesn't go to college doesn't mean you weren't a good parent. Please don't twist this. Please don't twist it. Doesn't mean you failed at anything. Just means that it's an accomplishment. He helped his son helping his son follow his dream. Robotics is his thing. Hey, I give him credit. He was like, he ain't push a basketball or a football. He said, robotics is your thing. All right, well, we rocking with this then.
Lord knows we tried. We did basketball. I remember one time he was taking the basketball. He was 8, standing underneath the basketball court with his hands in his pockets. Just like, he's totally not interested.
This ain't it.
He's not interested.
This ain't it. This ain't it. Mike was writing it down, was wiggling his toes in his Skechers. Yes, I was. I was like, wow, this is fascinating. How long has this been out? Bitch, this has been out for 30 years.
How long has this been out? When this dropped?
How long have I been able to minimize screens and just bring them back up? How long has that been? I thought I had to X out of everything. All right, so super. Thank you. Let me see what we got here. So we can get we got the Financial Rebel in here. So I might as well Reckless. There's a person who I love this because we've been told how to spend money, and then we have people like Kamari who tell us how to spend money and how to invest in and how to not cut corners, but we're infatuated with purchasing, where there's something that makes you feel good.
We've been programmed.
Something that makes you purchase and make you feel like your status is something different. But there's a programming behind it, and here's a little something. It's a little lengthy, so stand with the people.
Of dealing with self-hatred, one of the effects, of course, is the misspending of money. And
how so though? How does that work?
Because money is misspent again to relieve pain. You see, to compensate for inferiority.
Kamari, what's up?
1 second. I just gotta say this. The man who's narrating this is a G. And you should look up him. He's one of the greatest. Dr. Amos Wilson, the author of Fierce, what is it?
Blueprint for Black Power.
Come on, real quick. I love you.
Blueprint for Black Power.
I just wanted people to know that.
Right after the clip, you could explain that. After the clip.
I'm sorry. Listen, I get excited when I hear Dr. Amos Wilson. Sorry.
It's already lengthy. I'm already working with people with the TikTok stamina. Let's go.
Because money is misspent again to relieve pain, you see, to compensate for inferiorities, and because the individual has been reversed, which we'll have to explain at some later point. You will see a situation where almost inevitably the spending for getting over an inferiority complex involves spending the money with the person who gave it to you in the first place.
Wait a minute. There's something you had a thing about anger and resentment binding the oppressor to the oppressed.
Yes, and this is a part of the aspect of it, you see. You want to buy the approval. You want to buy, you mentioned even in the Garvey statement, you want to buy the products that restructure the image. When I talk about the effects of dealing with self-hatred, one of the effects, of course, is the misspending of money.
And I think that's so deep because, and Kamar, give once again, give us the gentleman, because I didn't know who the gentleman was who actually broke this down.
So that's Dr. Amos Wilson. Listen, you can go down the whole rabbit hole on that brother. I haven't seen him miss yet. All his stuff is wonderful. Fearless could probably talk about it better than I can, but I'm a big fan of his work. Oh, go ahead.
Audio books too. No, I'm saying you can watch the lectures on YouTube and it's audio books. I'm about to run
Yeah.
inside to go to work, but no, definitely Amos Wilson is master teacher. But all right,
All right,
y'all.
well,
Much love
good
to all the
luck.
people out there.
Good luck, homie.
Yes,
He's on
sir.
his way. He's on set. He's on set. Everybody hates Chris. He does it all, people. He does it all. He's a professor. He's an actor. He's a comedian. He's a rapper. He's unhinged sometimes.
He's a doctor. He's an academic. He's a smart man.
He'll go down rabbit holes that I don't want him to go down, but sometimes you got to go down those rabbit holes and no pause with that. But I think it's interesting what this doctor is saying, because it's like the more money we get, it seems like sometimes the more money we get, the more it affects our community negatively, which is bizarre.
Correct. It is funny, Mike, before you even played that clip, I was just about to say, we're talking about programming and the tricks. Isn't it interesting how they program poor people or trick poor people to spend what little bit of money they got to make the rich people richer? I think that's one of the biggest tricks that nobody's ever studied. But if they figure that out, they'll be a billionaire, trillionaire, quadrillionaire, because that's amazing.
And I wouldn't even and you're right about the poor people. I would say the middle class may be the most brainwashed segment of this country, because we spend an entire lifetime trying to reach something that is unreachable, because the goalpost gets switched up every time.
Yeah, and I would say there really isn't even a real middle class. You got rich and you got poor. Now you got some gradients in the middle, and I get it. But at the end of the day, most of the middle class are one paycheck away from being homeless. And so that's the only reason why I would say that. But I get what you're saying. And I agree.
And what I mean about the goalpost is, okay, where I live, when I get here, when I bought the places that I lived at, when I got there, let's just say when I got it, it was $250,000. Well, okay. Now the place that you stay at, if you want to get to that place, now it's $375,000. But the wages ain't going up.
Correct. Wages have not gone up.
So what you're stuck in is you trying to chase something that they keep going, okay, come get it now. And then they go, okay, you want to live here in a nice neighborhood, and you want to live here with a good educational system. Okay, now you got to pay this. Oh, okay, now it's real. We're gonna make it more valuable to you. And as you keep going, you keep trying to keep up. So and all we do is spend. We spend a whole lifetime.
Spending is the enemy.
There it is.
So it's funny, Mike. I was talking to a close family friend yesterday about my father, who y'all know I told you he passed. But by all accounts, and this is the first time I ever want to say this publicly, people would say he's cheap. Now, I wouldn't say he was cheap, but he wasn't that far from it. But he aligned his money with his values, and he would pay for what he valued. And so at the end of the day, he wasn't into going to, fancy restaurants and fancy steak dinners. And there's nothing wrong with any of that. He just wasn't really into that. But he was into saving his money. He was into building his business. He was into getting his property. He was into buying stock. So he was into getting into things that would appreciate in value. Live very modestly.
That bar, he paid for what he valued. He had no problem paying for what he valued. I will tell this story over because this is a testimony. My grandfather was a merchant marine. My mom's dad was a merchant marine. When he came home from being a merchant marine, he then became the super. In New York, they call him the super, the janitor for multiple buildings. While he was doing that, as he had made the money for the merchant marines, he's just a super. Went to school till like the 6th grade. Super in multiple buildings. And he was the head super. He would take me to baseball games to see the Mets. After we would leave the stadium, we would go directly to one of his buildings. He would have 2 sandwiches, give me 1 sandwich. We'd eat the sandwiches. He'd do a little cleaning up. He'd check around the building, and then we'd go home after the game, right? That man decided to get into real estate in the Bronx. Decided to buy a 3-family home. Decided, hey, I'm going to rent one of these. Then We had the top floor. My mom and dad had the top floor. He rented the bottom. Then he sold that in the Bronx. He moved to another one in the Bronx, a better one in a better neighborhood. Well, we moved to Jersey. Now he rented both. Long story longer. This is how he cracked that millionaire status.
Right.
Because you can imagine what the rates went up on selling a 3-family home in New York City, which right now, those 3-family homes in New York, where he lived at, or at, and how they get the money, I don't know. Obviously, the people who buy it are companies, because they're at like $400, $500, $600, $700,000 to own a 3-family home.
Yep.
But like what you said, the word on the street about my grandfather was that he was cheap.
Yep.
The irony about it is that my grandfather was the one who gave everybody the opportunity to move into their own home by being the co-signer. He was the one who put the money up when he said, "Oh, you're trying to do that? I got you."
And a lot of people will come to my dad when they needed to borrow money. So there is power in cheap. Now,
yes.
I could go deeper into cheap, but I don't want to over intellectualize it. But you got to figure out what really matters. And a lot of times these corporations, all they want to do is extract dollars and cents from your wallets and pocketbooks. And they don't care about you. They can give 2 shits. They don't care if your mama's going to die, don't got money for medication, can't pay for daycare, anything like that. They just care on how to get profits to their people.
And the funny thing is, when let's say you're trying to lose, let's say you're 100 pounds overweight and you're trying to lose weight, you're trying to get in shape, you're trying to get healthier. So what do? You eat less. Nobody calls you cheap. No,
you would think.
You want, what do you want to do? You want to be smart about your spending. It's not cheap. It's smart about your spending. Yeah, like I joke about Jay Black being cheap, but you like whatever word. I hate that word cheap. I'm not trying to spend this money that I am programmed to work really hard for on whatever you think is value. Like, I think he paid for what he valued.
Yeah.
If I don't value that car, if that car doesn't do anything for me, except it makes you look at me differently, why am I spending $100,000 on this car just so you could look at me differently?
And I'll share this too. One of the things I never forget my dad taught me or told me, says when you buy a car, you should be able to replace the tires on that car. And this was because he had a client that had a BMW, was complaining about getting the tires. They didn't really make a whole lot of money. It was like, why would you buy that German car and you know those tires are X amount of dollars, but you ain't got that money in the bank to replace that car. So you can't really keep that car running. And my dad was a Toyota man. He had a Lexus, but that's nothing but a fancy Toyota. He didn't really care about the glitz and glamour.
Facts. And when you find out the companies that make these cars, you're like, wait. They changed the name and they go like, but the car is made by Nissan?
Yep.
So why didn't I just go get the Ultima? Why
now,
that is absolutely amazing. And trust me, I've fallen for it too. Listen, I know a nice car. I've been in the Bentleys. I know they're spaceships. They're amazing.
Yep.
When you turn the great thing is when there's no music on, you hear nothing in the car. You don't hear anything from the outside. You hear nothing. I get it. They run, I just wasn't a car person where I knew why I got cars, because y'all looked at me differently.
Right. It's a
that
game.
Was it. That was the whole kit and caboodle was basically, you guys, if you wear these clothes, this is why the name brands were so important to everybody. This is why rappers created trillions of dollars for industries that most of them never made a dime off of.
Yep.
Because we decided that these brands, you looked at me differently.
Liquor and clothing. How much money have rappers made for liquor and clothing, but have no equity stake in it whatsoever?
And I will tell you the truth. That one thing, being an alcoholic, that I love the fact that I did this. People will always joke about me because I'd go to the bar and they'd be like, "That's the type of vodka you drinking?" And I was like, "Yeah."
Was that your drink of choice, Mike? Vodka?
Yeah, vodka was the drink of choice. I always ask for the house vodka. and they would always look at me crazy. I
So you
owned
didn't
that.
care about the Belvedere, the Grey Goose, the
What?
Tito's.
And people would have the nerve to tell me, just like a car, a reliable car gets you to point A to point B every time, how valuable that is. Guess what that house liquor did? It got me drunk just like you. But your ass is spending $300, $400 to get drunk. And I'm literally walking out here. Not that it's any better. I'm spending $100 to get nice till tomorrow. But that's the same. Like you said, the liquor companies. People really thought it was something. We're going to get drunk together, but I'm going to drink this $1,000 bottle. And I'm like, at the end of the day, what's the difference? The difference is the people who saw you with the bottle felt differently about you.
I mean, some would say the taste is different. No,
Oh,
you
yeah.
mind that? Oh, you are.
Yeah, no, it's smoother. Like, I get it. It's smoother. But at the end of the day, none of it tastes good. None of it tastes good. Nobody ever drinks. Like when even though soda's bad for you, you drink a Coke, you go, ah. You're like, ah. Nobody ever takes a shot of anything. They never goes, oh, that was delicious. Nobody's ever done it. They bang on the bar stool. They bang on the bar. And they go, ah, this is good. Like, so stop. But back to the point, people want to walk around with the bottle. Right. I see dudes who literally want to walk. They hold that bottle for dear life because they won't even talk. They won't even talk to a certain type of woman unless they can show. Back in the day was the Cristal bottle. If they can show, that gave them the confidence to go like, yo, what's your number? And they basically, some of them, you see what I'm drinking, you know what it is. What are we doing? Let me get some of these comments. Diana Williams, I try to tell my daughter about finances all the time. She spends her money like fish go through water. Hey.
So Diana, show her examples of what you wanted to do. I'm actually struggling with that myself. I was talking to my daughter. She's 20, and I've always talked to her about it. She's been with me doing presentations to the youth and out in the community. But, you know, I have her do the same thing I'm telling you and Jay to do. Oh, Mike. She says she doesn't understand why to do it. And I'm like, what do you mean you don't understand? But then I had to take a step back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got to show her what is the end result. Because people aren't necessarily interested in the journey. They need to know why they need to go on the journey. And so I got to do a better job of that. Just being honest.
But you know, you have to repeat the journey over and over and over again.
Over and over and over. You got to show it in different ways too.
Yeah. And you got to be the annoying dad. Like when an example comes up, you can't miss it. Like, now see, the reason why they could do that is because they were able to do this, this, and that. And like, oh, here we go. But until the same way the spending habits are banged in our head every single day, every minute of the day.
Correct.
Every minute as you scroll, every minute as you, the same way you got to be. And I know it's got to be frustrating with you because you know what you're talking about.
It's very frustrating. But you know what, Mike, you just made a great point that I made several times. I probably made it on the show, right? In 1973, they said the average person saw 500 commercials / brand impressions, right? So the corporation spent $500 on average. Now, 2025, it's 5,000. And so we are competing against all of that. So we have to be as vigilant and creative in ways of explaining things and illustrating things so people can get it.
All right, well, let's get to something that is an escape for me, but even my escape, even my sports escape, I've had to figure out how I'm not going to spend money with any of these leagues directly. So if an athlete that I like has a website, I try and go directly to their website, right? Like Shakur Sanders. I've been trying to get this Cleveland Brown jersey from him.
It's sold out, right?
Yeah, I've been trying, and it's like everywhere I go, and I don't want to go to the NFL. Now, listen, do I know the NFL's they don't get any ticket money from me because I'm not paying for tickets to go to a game. I haven't paid for any packages to watch the NFL. Right now, I'm strictly whatever's on is on, and I'll just watch the scores. But here go Dr. Umar. Here go Dr. Umar. Got to mess up my escape. But I knew this. But here's his angle on what these leagues are truly scared of when it comes to these athletes. Here's his angle. Dr. Umar, back at it again.
Players who come from 2-parent homes. They don't like players with strong fathers in their life. Now, LeVar Ball was a big mouth. LeVar Ball was braggadocious, but LeVar Ball was a proud father who cared about his sons, and so they attacked him. Deion Sanders is a proud father who cared about his son. They don't want you to have no daddy. They want you to view your coach as your dad. They want you to be like any other slave on the plantation, emotionally dependent on your white daddy, psychologically dependent on your white daddy, and financially dependent on your white daddy. They don't like athletes with strong black fathers, and Deion Sanders just isn't a strong black father, Art. He's one of the greatest to ever do it and is a coach now himself. That made these white men insecure.
So I can't fight back against that, and I don't want to.
Really?
No, because I honestly believe if you have a father who's been in these situations and can set you. Look, Deion just had a press conference. They asked him about Shiloh Sanders getting cut by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And Deion Sanders said, I have prepared my kids for all and every situation. Football or not, they're going to be good. The NFL especially does not want people with players with attitudes that say, I have a plan and I'm going to be good with or without you. No industry likes that. No radio station like that. No network likes that. They don't like the power of holding something over and you saying, you know, this is all you got. This is all you got right here. When they get athletes aware of this and athletes aware that one of your contracts should literally set you up for life so that you can say whatever you want. I say this all the time. What is the point of having $100 million contract if you can't say exactly what you want to say? But I see you might have some pushback against that, Kamara. What was your pushback?
So what league was he talking about again? Because I'm not the super sports guy.
The NFL.
So the NFL. So the Mannings, they don't count?
No, they're not black.
Yeah, but you're going to say that they're afraid of black fathers, is what he's saying.
Yes.
I mean, listen, I think what we all can agree upon, nobody wants anybody that's going to mess up waves. And the reason why I'm going back and forth, because he cited LeVar Ball first. First person I thought about was Kobe and his father. Right? But
exactly. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So strong fathers have always been a part of pro sports. But nobody wants a big mouth, no matter what league it is. And so, I mean, I think sometimes we overcomplicate things and we focus on the thing that's not really the thing.
No, I think that is the thing. I think that is the thing because they like athletes. And they'll profile them. They like athletes who thank their mom. And me and my mom went through the struggle as an MVP. Because that's all they don't have the strong father. That's why, listen, and when I say this, please, y'all, please understand, I see nothing wrong with people saying this. I see nothing wrong with people saying this. I never say you're like a father to me. I've never in my life said anybody was like a father to me. I got a father. I don't have to look at a head coach in college. Oh, well, I'm going to turn your son into a man. No, bitch, that wasn't your job. But we say it in such a complimentary way. We go, oh, the head coach said he's going to be like a father. You know why? You know why he goes to the hood? And you know why he says that? And he's able to get your kid to go to his college? You know why? Because he knows a lot of these kids don't have fathers in there. So he throws them the prize. I'm going to be like a father to him. And that's where the weakness comes, because that's when you have this alliance to a sport that is just a business. Where I hear athletes, I heard Eddie George on an interview say, I was willing to die on a football field. You know how disrespectful it is to every person in your fucking family, and God included, that you say you are willing to die for this game? And people are like this in the background. Oh, yeah, that's a real football player. Dog, what are you talking about? I'm willing to give up days sitting next to my kids, but
they're committed to that thing.
I'm committed to that thing.
Yes.
So it overrides
everything,
which is insane when you deprogram somebody. Because when these athletes, after they say that, 15 years later, they're sitting like Earl Campbell, who made, I don't even think Earl's alive anymore, who made a lot of money off the food products, who can't walk, who are being pushed around in a wheelchair. Because you were supposed to get the money as fast as you can and get out that bitch as fast as you can.
But what you're talking about is severe fanaticism, right? Even with fans. Like, I'm from Philly, you've been up in New York, both serious football teams, right? The Giants, Jets, Eagles. People will die over that. The whole city mood changes when the Eagles loses, right? And so people are so committed to that thing, and they don't make any money from it at all.
But they also don't suffer CTE afterwards. And
no, they don't. But I'm just talking about the flocking, and it's like that thing of being fanaticized about a thing.
But I think what Umar is saying is they don't have a father figure to make them aware of the other side, that this is, you love playing, but this is, you have to use, this is a business. Yeah, I'll give you a perfect example. When Klay Thompson got injured, Kevin Durant had torn his Achilles during the NBA Finals, right? And he had a problem before he tore it, and he was playing with it, right? Well, Klay Thompson got injured. He wanted to go back in the game. His dad came downstairs and said, "You ain't going back in the game. You're not risking this all for this." Because he had a father. He had a father who could override, had the relationship to override all the people standing around him, mostly white, saying, "Hey, if it's up to you, if you want to go in there, I mean, it's a championship." And that's what they don't want. They don't want somebody to empower them. I'm not saying moms don't empower them, but they don't want that balanced dynamic of a two-parent household saying, "Well, whoa. This ain't the end all. This ain't the end all to all this. Your money is guaranteed."
But I don't think it's a black thing. I just think it's a thing of sports and people willing to die for the sports. Black, white, yellow, or green. That's all.
I think it's a black thing when you know who the family structure, you know what family structures to go to, that you can manipulate them into coming to your school to make them money. And then you can actually, you don't have a full team behind you. Don't bring up the Mannings, because the Mannings got the mom and dad, and the dad's a Hall of Fame quarterback. And the dad raised hell in the NFL. He told the NFL, "Don't you draft my son." He told the Chargers, "Don't you draft my son because he's not playing for you." That's exactly what Dion did. Archie Manning was applauded for it. That's how Eli wound up with the Giants.
No. I'm not saying that there isn't a double standard. That's not what I'm saying. But to that specific thing that Umar was talking about, that's present throughout all the sports. That's all I was saying.
And the problem is that's present. But like everything else, if something bad happens, it happens worse to us. If there's a bad thing going on.
Absolutely. What's the whole saying? America gets a cold, black people get a flu. So,
exactly.
Yeah. Yes.
So doctor, yeah, damn NFL, and that damn NFL season's about to start. And I'm about to be the biggest hypocrite and watch this shit, because I know if there's one thing I shouldn't be watching is sports. God.
Listen, everybody kind of goes through a mild depression in between the end of NBA playoffs and the beginning of NFL season. Everybody's like happy and applauding that football season starting.
And you know why?
It's programmed into American psyche.
Because we're lacking something in our lives, that we need this escape.
But let's take that a little bit further, Mike. We're not talking about one person. We're talking about every major city in America. So is that many people lacking?
Yes. They know how to. They know what.
I agree with you. That's a societal problem. That's all I'm saying.
There are people I know personally who got divorces because one of the problems financially was that there was money being spent on season tickets
that they couldn't afford, I guess.
That they could afford, but it was a major, like it was mortgage, season tickets.
So they couldn't afford it. They
Yeah,
really
I
couldn't
mean,
afford it.
but it was being prioritized.
Right. Yeah, I get it. And
So,
that's how crazy a lot of people are about sports.
and I want to tell y'all this about sports. The only way a league can make billions of dollars is make you mentally addicted to it. That's the only way you can become a billionaire selling something. That's the only way a superstar in this world can be a superstar. They have to formulate a fanatical group of people that are obsessed with these people.
And it starts from youth. So we got Pop
It
Warner
starts,
all over the place.
It starts from youth.
I got a question for you, Mike. We got Pop Warner, Little League, all over the country. For black communities, why don't we have chess leagues at youth level?
Because there's not an organization that has been able to commercialize it to make the money off of it.
So basically, nobody can get pimped. Nobody's pimping enough chess to start chess leagues.
Exactly. And when they do, they and if they did, they'd figure it out and they'd start getting to it. And they would pimp the hell out of it. They'd pimp the hell out of it. Society doesn't like children with strong fathers. Absolutely. Don Lemon, I don't know where the Don Lemon came out. K-Day. Dion knows the truth behind the game, and the NFL fears that. That's it in a nutshell.
Oh, and they're definitely picking on Shador, and like that young man is getting so much scrutiny. It's unbelievable. And again, I'm not the major sports guy, but I mean, he has produced. He's got skills, but the way they talk about it, boy, it's a problem.
Joby Bean Bryant, you say he was solid. I don't know if you mean that a negative or a positive, but the positive thing is that Kobe grew up and he knew the grind of what this NBA was about and how you can get eliminated and how you could wind up playing overseas and still make money. So I don't know if you're saying that in a positive or a negative way. That's great, Mike.
Well, he's saying that, Bean wasn't really making waves like a Dion.
But how do we sound? How do we actually sound when we say you can't make waves?
No. I'm not saying you can't make waves. We're talking about the issue why they don't want black fathers, right? Because some of the black fathers have been more outspoken. Del Curry's pop isn't. He's spoken, but not really that outspoken, so to speak. LeVar Ball, all over the place, right? A lot of people don't like him.
But what happened? It was to benefit his kids, which it did benefit. He's got 2 sons in the league. One son almost made it in the league and still financially secure. Like that's the game. That's the game within the game. You use the game. His attitude, they said, well, that went against his sons and made it harder on his sons. How? It got them the attention they wanted, and one got drafted by the Lakers. They're both still playing in the league.
One's overseas now, right? Or one overseas?
No, one's not. He's not in the league now. I don't think he made it overseas, but he's got 2. He's got Lamar. He's got LaMelo, and the first one that got drafted, LaMelo. I guess his name is Lamar. I guess he named him after him. I guess he is. Man, listen, that's the ones that they profile. Single mother households, easy to step in as a father figure and manipulate. So, yeah, of course. And they'll sit there and be, he was like a father to me. Listen, that's great if somebody does it for a reason and they're like a father to you. I'm not going to knock. I don't know your relationship. I got one.
So, Mike, I used to feel that way when I was younger. But now, like, at this old age, I'll talk about my dad all the time, but I will also say this. My dad was very intentional about putting other strong men in my life who were like father figures to me.
Absolutely. That's why I wanted to make sure I don't have a problem. That's just I don't have a problem with mentors. I don't have a problem with you saying he's like a father to me. I really don't. I just don't. I got you. Yeah. But many other things choose to place importance over than their families. Manipulations, money, deadly combination. Yes, absolutely. I've never seen this person. All right. Don't want to mess up. Heavenly bots. Are you a bot? Okay, you're a bot. A heavenly bot.
Twitch, I believe.
Twitch. Oh, we got somebody on Twitch because I think I'm broadcasting on Twitch. I think I am. Tosh, facts. I agree. It's both. Don't like football. Watch your mouth. You like basketball. And trust me, y'all, the more I pull away from this game, the more I know how manipulated this game is. I'm okay now. A game can't affect I can't believe how a game could affect. I allowed a game to affect my week of life. Like I joke about Jay Black. Jay Black won't come on the show after the Eagles lose a big game.
He's like, I ain't showing up for work. I'm calling off.
It's the emotion. And I joke, but I go like, how do you allow something that you have no control over and you don't get paid for to ruin a day of life? I hate to get deep, y'all. To allow it to ruin
days of life.
Days of life that you never get back. That you never get back. But, you know.
That's the real question, but nobody wants to talk about that.
Men/people place too much value on sports as a game while people are so caught up in the game. White people have been cashing in big time. And you're right, they have been cashing in. Those billionaires have cashed in a way that's so incredible that I don't even want to go down that rabbit hole to tell you how disgusting it is. I have a friend that has Sixer and Eagle season tickets, thousands. Yeah, I'm good. And God bless them. If that's your escape and that's what you like doing, go do it. No comments. Again, AAU. Yeah, AAU is ridiculous. It's a maddening, another politicized, underhanded thing that goes on. It's not programmed into our psyche. I don't let these distract my life, and they're racist too. There are many other ways to escape. It's scary. Good.
Read a book. Nobody wants to read a book.
What K-Day got to say? It's going to be a huge surprise when Cleveland's starting quarterback isn't delivering and they start losing games. The fans will force them to start Shador. It's going to happen. We'll see. I'm rooting.
And they were talking about cutting Shador. There were rumors of that. Was he cut or did he?
No, he's not going to get cut. They use a draft pick. They normally don't cut, but they can make it very difficult. They're trying to have 4 quarterbacks, which is pretty much unheard of. So he could be a third string quarterback, and it'll take a lot to get on the field. I enjoy football, just not a fan. Got you, Miss Clark. All right, what else we got? Let me tell you something. Don't tell nobody. I miss Jay Black putting these comments up, but don't tell nobody. Don't tell nobody. Please don't tell nobody. Please don't tell nobody.
Mike, if you want, you could have me do comments for you some days.
Oh, you know what? I forgot.
You gotta add me to the team now. We can talk about that offline.
All right, y'all. Let's get into some mindless. Let's get into something silly. I saw this clip and I just had to share it. It's violent. But you know, sometimes we see the bullies and the bullies never get what they deserve. And I zoomed in on it to see if this was real. I zoomed in. This looks real to me, y'all. This looks real to me. I started and I brought it back quickly. Here's the video. This is the bullies getting what they deserve.
America, what happened to my America?
Oh, the push. The push.
Cause it don't feel free to me.
Yeah, there it is.
Tell me where's my red riding.
That made me feel good, y'all. That made me feel. I'm gonna take it from the top. You're gonna see the trip. I'm gonna bring it back. Here it goes. He just walked mind his business. Trip, push. There it is, right there. There it is, right there. He comes. He says, "What are we doing? What are we doing?" I just made me feel whap. I went close to that. Them kicks landed. I went close. Did I enlarge it on this one? Did I get to enlarge it on this one? Yeah. See, I paused it. This is my research. This is live. This is me researching. It looked real. Just made me feel good when the bullies.
Go back, Mike. I was waiting for the slow-mo.
I couldn't get the slow-mo. Here it comes. The trip is right there.
Oh, that's
trip and push. He said, "Dog, what are we doing? Like, what was the point of that?" Yeah. The pow. And the second one I had to look closely at. The second one landed, y'all. I'm telling you.
The second one was a spinning kick. Yep, it landed.
That was Sleep Records. First single, Take a Nap. That was Sleep Records. Look, he tried to get up after he saw. He tried to get up. Let me just go ahead. Yeah, what you gonna do about wow? I wish I could do that. Don't you all wish you could just do that? Do some shit like that? I know it's violent. Don't you? Come on, everybody's dreamed about this. What? He pushed him for no reason.
Finish him. Yeah. Finish him.
Look, and he's setting him up for the kick. He said, "Here you go." Wow. Night. Sleep Records. New single. Wake me up in the morning time. Just want to put that was just for me, y'all. That was just for me. 8:30. Let me get to some good old fashioned Let me get to some whatever. Oh, you know what? I won't get to that. Chicago, a mayor of Chicago.
I like him.
Is on with what's it? The Morning Joe, and they don't like his answer. And when they don't like their answer, they get really testy. So let me show you this little clip. They get testy, but he ain't step back.
Like to get federal funding to help put 5,000 more cops on the street in Chicago. Would that help drive down crime?
Well, look, policing by itself is not the full strategy.
No, I understand that. You've talked about the other things you want, and I said those are good and important programs, but I'm asking also, would 5,000 more police officers on the street in Chicago be helpful to go along with all of those social programs that a lot of cities are engaging in and having success with?
Well, look, here's the best way I can put it, Joe, is that in the 90s when I was in high school, we had 3,000 more police officers and we had 900 people being murdered every single year in Chicago. It's just not policing alone. Of course, we want more detectives.
I know it's not policing alone, but I know it's not policing alone. You've told me everything else you want. I'm curious, and this does come down to an ideological difference between people. Do you believe that the streets of Chicago would be safer if there were more uniformed police officers on the streets of Chicago?
I believe the city of Chicago and cities across America would be safer if we actually had, affordable housing. Look,
okay,
I'm not saying that
that's not the question I asked. My question is, and I just need a yes or a no, do you believe the streets of Chicago would be safer if you got all of those other extraordinary programs put back into place, which do have a history of being successful, if that's complemented by having 5,000 more cops on the streets of Chicago?
I don't believe that we should narrow it down to just police officers, Joe, is what I'm saying. That is an antiquated approach. I'm saying we've invested in detectives.
Mr. Mayor, are you hearing what I'm saying? I'm agreeing with you that all of these other social programs are extraordinarily important. I just need a yes or a no, and then this will be the last time I ask. If you get all of those other social programs that 800 million that New York City does, Los Angeles, other people do with great success, would an additional 5,000 cops on the streets in Chicago help complement those programs to make Chicago safer?
Look, we are working hard to make sure that our police department is fully supported. I don't believe that just simply putting out an arbitrary number around police officers is the answer. What I'm saying is policing and affordable housing. It's policing and mental and behavioral health care services. It's policing and youth employment. It's a full package. Of course, we want to make sure that our police department is fully supported. That's why I've invested in our Detectives Bureau, because what we have seen in the city of Chicago, when we solve crime, it acts and serves as a deterrent. It's policing and all of the other efforts that we're doing. Here's the last thing that I'll say to that. The federal government could work stronger to coordinate with my police department to get guns off the streets of Chicago. We've seen these efforts work. Just a couple of weeks ago, the ATF working with my police department, we removed over 150 guns off the streets of Chicago that were trafficked in through Mississippi and Indiana. No one is saying that police officers don't play an incredible role in driving safety. They play an absolute pivotal role in that. But we have asked law enforcement to do too much. Police officers are being asked to be social workers, counselors. What I'm simply saying is, if we're going to build safe and affordable cities across America, the one thing that safe communities all have in common, they invest in people. We have a poverty issue in the city of Chicago and cities across America. Police officers alone will not put food on the table. Police officers alone will not guarantee a high quality education. Police officers alone won't drive down unemployment. We need all of it. The President of the United States of America and the federal government could restore Medicaid. They could restore SNAP. They could stop defunding our public education system. Here's the most important point here. Justice Brandeis, over 100 years ago, the first Jewish American to sit on the Supreme Court, he said that we could either have a democracy or wealth in the hands of the concentrated few. But we cannot have both. We are fighting for our democracy and our humanity right now. This president's nescience of the Constitution will leave irrevocable harm on posterity. That's why, as mayor of the city of Chicago, we are standing up to tyranny, and American cities across this country are doing the same.
Thank God. Thank God. What were you saying, Kamar? Thank God.
Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. Shout out to that man. Listen, we got to protect our Brandons. The mayor of Chicago's name is Brandon Johnson. The mayor of Baltimore is also named Brandon Scott. Both cities have had major declines in crime because they're doing common sense things. And everybody knows adding police alone does not help.
It's just, I'm not any type of scholar. Adding police and not changing the community's welfare and not changing their economics and not changing their education does nothing but just arrest more people and load up the prison so y'all can make more money off the prison system.
Locking the up.
When they gentrify a part in New York, you know what they make sure? That the economy is right of the people who are actually going to move in. That's why the prices are so high. So that they know these people who move in are spending a lot of money and they have money. Their struggle isn't health insurance. Their struggle isn't what they're going to eat. Their struggle isn't what doctor. Their struggle isn't what their kids are learning in school or if they even have the qualified teachers. What they do is they make sure that the economy in these new gentrified areas is good, is elite. And then what do? They bring in the cops to make sure that nobody out the ordinary comes in and does something. That's the last part. You go to Brooklyn right now. You go over that Brooklyn Bridge at 11 o'clock at night on a Saturday night. There are white people riding their bikes. It's all good because the income is all good because the economy has changed. So now the cops are just the icing on the cake. The cops can't change an environment. They can't change the environment. They're not, like he said, they're not mental health workers. They can't make a person, they can't change a person's annual income. They can't change a person who's at their wit's end and have an option. Do I keep working this job that's going to allow me to get evicted, or do I do something else that may get me put in prison, but to keep me with a roof over my head? It's a common sense. You have to change the core. No disrespect to the police. That's the icing on the cake. If you don't change the mentality, which is making people not have choices, making people not have to make a choice between doing this, which could be wrong and could land me in prison, but will keep me home. It's just common sense. You know why the cops ain't driving heavy around my neighborhood? Because I'm blessed to live in a neighborhood where people right now, I'm not saying we're living paycheck to paycheck because you can make $700,000 a year and live paycheck to paycheck. But people ain't rolling the dice on life over here. It's just a stupid, and to ask a mayor to answer a question, yes or no, that has to do with a city like Chicago is so bonkers. You know he can't answer that question, yes or no.
But nor is it a yes or no question, to be honest.
Yes.
And I know media wants everything short and sweet to wrap it up for sound bites and things like that, but it's not a yes or no answer. And I believe that's part of the problem now, because many of us do believe it is a yes or no problem. Every mayor has to solve or speak to safety when they run for mayor. Many people believe the answer is more police. It's not. The numbers bear it out. If you just read things like libraries opening, rec centers longer, those are some of the things they did in Baltimore and Chicago. Those things work.
Go ahead. Finish your statement. Go ahead.
Tupac said wonderfully, they got money for war but can't feed the poor. Adding more police is like having more money for war.
Ajabu says adding 5,000 more teachers will help too. So you can have a 1 to 10 ratio instead of a 1 to 30, where students could actually learn and focus on their education. Hashtag input. Like, we know this. They just can't wait to throw more police because it enhances the product that's in prison. Do you know the prison system around the country? The attendance has gone down. The enrollment in prisons has gone down. There are people losing money because people ain't going to prison. That would be awesome. Theoretically, that would be awesome. Sorry. Let me get Auntie outside. His mother is proud. Yes. Coco. Coco, our resident police officer. I tell people all the time, until you put that uniform on, you have no idea what police go through, no idea what we deal. We're dealing with some elements of the public. Okay.
I mean, it can be a crazy profession because they run into all walks of life, from sane to insane. And there's a lot of insane people out there, y'all.
They need a combination of everything. There is no one single solution. The economy, the access to education, they know what the solution is. They know what the solution is because in the neighborhoods that they live in, they make it a priority. In the neighborhoods that they live in, they make these things a priority.
Black and brown bodies aren't worth the investment.
So they know the answer. They know police ain't the answer because police ain't the answer in the high end, in the high end property valued areas that are out here. They know, are police on call? Yes. Will they get there quick? Yes. But they're not berated with calls throughout the night. I told y'all, unfortunately, the day I went to jail, the county jail out here where I live at, do you know I was the only person in that bitch on a Saturday? I was the only one.
So, Mike, I just pulled up a statement from Brandon Scott from Baltimore.
Go ahead.
He was just talking about the reduction in violent crime that they've seen. And so they said, compared to this time last year, the city has seen a 24.3% decrease in homicides, an 18.3% decline in non-fatal shootings. That's when people get shot, but they don't die, right? So far this year, Baltimore has had 84 homicides, the fewest in over 50 years, compared to 111 homicides in the past 7 months of 2024. He's doing something. He's doing something right. He didn't put more police on the streets. The numbers are there.
Adding police doesn't help, but you need to change the community. Listen, I'll give you an example. Willenboro, love Willenboro, moved to Willenboro when we first came out of here. When I got to Willenboro, you know what Willenboro had? They had a public pool in every park. The parks are Hawthorne, Buckingham, Somerset. Those are the parts of Willenboro. Somerset, Country Club, Twin Hills, Garfield. Every park had a pool. You know what we did all summer long? We went to the pool. You know what happened at 4 or 5 o'clock? There was adult hour where your parents now came to the pool. They had their adult badge. What we did after that is I played baseball most of the summer. My friends that were at the pool were also playing baseball with me. It was activities that kept us in structure. We had the lifeguards. We had what does Willenboro have now? They have one pool. Every park had its own elementary. Every park. Now most parks don't have an elementary school. There's no budget for it to pay the teachers, saying there's not enough students, whatever the case may be. We had parades. Now, I'm not a big fan of parades, but the fact of the matter is it created a community thing where the same friends that I played basketball with, the same friends that I saw at the pool, the same friends that I saw at the baseball practice and baseball games were the same friends I saw online at the parade. Saying it was a community. People were actually being able to pay their mortgage. People were actually being able to work with wages. We had a police department. Now you take away everything. You take that and you take the influx of what society has put into these societies, and things become a problem. I'm not giving you the answer because there are multiple different things that are going on. There are probably 50 to 100 things that need to change. What I'm saying is the community was the 90210. We were cutting grass. We didn't know how good this was. They know how to fix these places. Because once again, I repeat, what they do in where they live at, they know why that works. They know why their kids excel. They know why their classes are smaller. They know why their teachers make more money. They get it. This ain't no mystery. So adding 5,000 cops doesn't change anything. It just makes a bunch of cops do a lot more work if you don't work on a community. All right, I'm done. Y'all got me. I wanted to have a good Wednesday.
This is a good Wednesday.
Exactly. They either want to lock us up or kill us off. Facts on facts.
That's the only answer.
Facts. The illusion of choice is what keeps these false narratives going. The illusion of choice. I wonder what you'd have to expand on that. He was talking like the massa. Answer me yes or no, boy. No, facts on facts. They want to get tough. And they want to act like they can demand an answer, but the answer that suits them. The answer and the way that you deliver it. It's not a yes or no answer. There's too many things that we do not have anymore. No after school programs, no rec centers anymore. Nothing. No, absolutely. Let me get a few more. As policing. That's why I moved from Union to Willingboro. Yes. And it was a diverse community, whether you know it or not. Yes, Camden had summer recreation. They know. They know. And I don't want to give Camden a bad rep. They know what they could do to help Camden. They know. 2 pools, Mike, Country Club, and Pennypacker. Yes, that's what I thought. All facts about Willingboro. Willingboro should be a absolute, I hate to say this. They don't care so much that it's a gold mine. Willingboro houses are so big. The space that you have, the lawns, it is something that frustrates me to no end to see what the education system has turned into. I rep Willingboro. Like this is a place that is set up for people to live good lives and to raise their families. It's set. The infrastructure is still there. There's just so many greedy ass politicians that have dug their hands into it. It's ridiculous. I don't even want to get into but that's fine. That's fine. Well, what the hell is Cheryl doing? She needs to get Brandon on the bat phone ASAP. Cheryl doing. I don't know what that. I don't know.
Talking about Cheryl Parker, the mayor of Philadelphia, the first black mayor of Philadelphia.
Oh, well, the first
black female mayor of Philadelphia.
Yeah, she does. She absolutely does. Then why? That's why we moved to Willingboro. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Agreed, Mike. Coco, we definitely need more police here just because we don't have enough to answer 911 calls for whatever the cause is. We just don't. It's not just necessary to arrest people. Could be for an accident. Coco, we're not talking about accidents. This is weird.
No, but I mean, I think we're not talking about basic skeleton crew stuff. When they're talking about adding 5,000 more cops, it's not just to answer 911 calls. Because let's be clear, the 911 callers or people on the phones, they're not always police. So they're 2 different things. And what they're really talking about is the lock and nigga up crew. That's what they really want. That's why Trump's talking about all these black towns with black mayors, talking about deploying National Guard and military force. It's deeper than just quote unquote police, y'all. There is an agenda here.
Coco says the cops I work with go out and work hard for the public, and they're not out there trying to lock us up or kill anybody. Facts. I get the facts. But facts are that the reason the higher ups, this government wants to send more cops into black community. What you do, I value. But the reason, and it's needed. But the reason why they want to add 5,000 cops is not for that. That's not their plan.
They don't care about the community.
This is where we have this disconnect, Coco. I appreciate and I value what you're doing, but sometimes you forget to see the plan behind it. Philadelphia is a city that had judges that were getting paid to send kids to prison. This is proven. They went to jail. And one got out. One was pardoned. They literally were getting paid for a quota of sending young people to prison. So what you're saying is valid. That's not why they want to add police to cities. That's not their agenda. But I get what you're saying. Willingboro's the bedroom. City folks work north and sleep south. Yes. That was actually it. Growing up in Willingboro back then was a unique experience, especially for Black families. Absolutely it was. Absolutely it was. Let me get Tasha. But adding more cops is more public harassment. And that's the other thing. Coke, I know what you're saying, but you're not going to deny the fact that there's public harassment by other police officers, and you know police officers that have done it. So I know you get upset when Fearless says what he says, and y'all go back and forth. But we're not just going to sit up here and say they know the intention. They know the cops. They know the amount of cops that are going to go up there trying to harass the Black community and Hispanic community and Latino community. Not saying there are not plenty of great cops. He's right there. Mostly not police answering the phones. One more, then I'll get back to another clip. He's putting all of those police around DC because what it's time for the new why did I forget the word?
He's putting all those police around DC because when it's time for the next coup, he
cool.
wants the law enforcement in place.
Yeah, I got it. I just forgot the word.
Okay.
He wants the law enforcement in place. He's not slick. They know what they're doing in DC. People are videoing it. People are putting this. People are documenting. People are posting. He knows what they're doing. He's trying to up the amount of crimes that he can find. They are trying to actually make misdemeanors felonies in DC.
Cook the books. That's what they're trying to do. Cook the books.
And they're using cops for it. And the heartbreaking part is to watch while this goes on, seeing Black cops actually taking part in this, which they have. That's their job. They're being used as the pawn against their own the communities right now. And there are a lot of great cops. 911 call factors in. They take us off the street from patrolling. But believe it or not, Camden was a suburb of Philly. Yes, it was. White flight happened, and the rest is history.
I mean, technically, Willingboro's a suburb of Philly too. So,
if they stop making the cops give out Narcan down at K&A, Kensington, and then they can do their job properly. They see what's going on in Kensington.
But wait a minute. Narcan helps people not overdose, so you don't want people to be helped when they're overdosing?
No, but they're saying, why are the cops being given that responsibility?
Oh, now that's a fact. Our cops are definitely overworked. Medical professionals, mental health workers, yeah.
Look, and Coco, I hate to break this to you, and you know you're my boy. The minute a community stops needing more cops and starts needing less cops, that means the community's doing well. Hate to break it to you. The minute you change the community and go like, hey, we don't need these many cops. This community is doing well. My police department ain't a quarter the size of Philadelphia police department. Why?
Well, probably don't got the quarter of population either.
No. But I'm saying the crime, I mean, it's a lot of people who live in South Jersey. There's a lot of people who live in South Jersey.
A lot. So
if a community started to flourish, chances are they'd be like, well, maybe we don't have to spend as much because there's not, but okay. Their plan is to add more cops in the Black community to get people to leave and the properties they can get from the Black community. And what happens? Black people move and they win again. And that's when the gentrification begins. Because I promise you, everything that we're asking for, when Black people leave, the next group of people that come in will get what we're asking for right now. Promise you. And the heartbreaking part is the police officers who took an oath to protect and serve know that this behavior is wrong and they're co-signing on this bull. They should be the main ones speaking up. I mean, it's a vicious cycle. I've never been in that situation. I was going to compare it to something, but I've never been in that situation. Camden is East Philly. The police are giving the Narcan because they usually are the first ones on the site that can administer it to it. How is Kensington how is that problem not been addressed?
It's years, decades old though. So
you know it's there. It's a running joke. We all know it's there. It's a disaster. It's horrid to have people living like that. Mount Laurel is the biggest city in Burlington. Yes, Stacy. Coco got another.
I skipped Asha.
I skipped who?
Asha. She said the crime is big business.
Okay, crime is big business. Police officers, lawyers, judges, hospitals, doctors, etc.
Yep, that's a fact.
I was a CEO for 3 years, and I've been doing this for 18. Sometimes us just interacting with the public in some areas is seen as harassment. People call our headquarters and complain about why we aren't doing.
I mean, policing is such a complicated thing. Because a lot of times the big administrations, for insurance reasons, money reasons, hide issues, and they become complicit in some of this stuff. You got some rogue cops, but I know a lot of good cops. My uncle was a good cop, right? But sometimes one bad apple spoils the whole bunch.
It's not even
Makes it bad for everybody.
And I get the bad apple, but understand, Coco. You guys are put in a no-win situation because they know it's a no-win situation. This is what I mean about the higher-ups, the governors of these states. They know it's a no-win situation. They know how to make your job easier. They know what communities need. They know this. They just won't give it to them. Because that doesn't make them money. Their plan is different. So you guys are put in a no-win situation. I get it. It's a rotten situation to be in. But you guys are the pawns that are used to push their agenda.
And I also feel... Oh, go ahead, Mike. I'm sorry.
You guys have been patrolling for 50 years these neighborhoods that have not gotten the resources to flourish. And they know they're not getting the resources. And they know between people, politicians stealing the money from the favors, from the different PACs that are put together, from the different alliances that are put together. So you guys are forced to patrol areas that have been underserved on purpose. So you guys are in a horrible situation. I'm sorry, Kamar, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, I think policing also, they don't use PR effectively either, because all we ever see is all the bad things about police. There are police who do a lot of good things. I know several off-duty police officers who have run into burning buildings and saved children.
Absolutely.
Off-duty, right? That never gets highlighted, just to show a true and accurate account. But I get it. It's hard. It's contentious. It's impossible.
Just think of the common sense. How can a poverty-stricken neighborhood be allowed to exist in America for 30 and 40 years? How? I see the neighborhoods they want to change in New York. I see what parts of Harlem they're going at for now. I see what they did in Brooklyn. When they want to, they'll change it.
Well, that's because the land is cheaper. It happens every 100 or so years. Like when you look here in Philadelphia, Society Hill, that was once predominantly black. Now what is it? A lot of rich folks. A lot of rich folks.
They could change it. So when we go, I get it. Once again, I wouldn't want to do your job. Because you're patrolling areas that people have had generations of struggle. Generations of struggle in these areas that you're patrolling. And they know what the outcome's going to be. So once again, shout to the police officers. I'm not telling you it's your fault. I'm not telling you what the predicament you're in. I wouldn't want to be in that predicament. You know, I thought it was a good idea to have black police officers and Latino police officers patrol Latino and black communities. I thought it was a good idea. But then I realized it's kind of a setup. Because if you're not going to change the community, all you're going to have is my black and Latino brothers having to put our black and Latinos in prison. I was
And also,
dumb.
if you're not going to change the system of policing, it's also set up as well. Because we can't ignore that policing is an outshoot of slavery. And a lot of that history is still there.
Yeah. That's another thing. Well, Kamari, hey, that's the truth. That's what it is. Let me get one more video in here, and then we can. Let me see if I got all the comments. It's hard to get these. I don't know if Jay gets all the comments. There is plenty COPA agenda in TV and film, but they can't beat that. They can't beat the accusations. All right. One of the biggest things that bother me is when there is a cop shooting and it's Black Lives Matter, but when Tyrone is shot on the street, there's nothing.
I can speak to that, but paid civil servants should be ridiculed for police shootings. I'm sorry, Coco, but and a lot of times, in a lot of these deaths, not all, there's something wrongful that happened. Civil servants that get paid to police black communities should be ridiculed, should be criticized, should be examined. You're being paid to that. You have an exorbitant level of power. You have more power than the regular people in the community. So yeah, there's a level of scrutiny that goes into that.
All right, that's good. He skips what he wants. Oh, that's what Jay skips what he wants. All right, they have the money and power. All right, let me rock one more, and then we can. Is there any funny stuff? I don't want to do Diddy. No, we're not doing Diddy.
You gotta say pause after that, right?
Yeah, I don't want to do Diddy. Pause. All right, we'll be back at it tomorrow. Kamari, thank you for joining us. Tomorrow is your day, so he'll be back at it with some financial advice.
I get 2 days in a row?
You get 2 days in a row, so you're back at it. Love me for who I am, not who you want me to be, because I can never be that. Understand there's only one thing in life that's guaranteed. It will end. So enjoy every minute, every second. You fight for everything in your life. Fight for your happiness. Never let anyone, any circumstance, or anything take it from you. God got me. God got you. God got us. Once again, our prayers to Miss Parker. Our prayers to Ashabu and her beautiful friend. Our prayers to anybody in this Takeover Legend community. If you ever need a prayer, if you ever feel like you need the prayer warriors to get to it, please don't feel embarrassed. Please don't ever hesitate to put up there what you're going through. And we will send our prayers, and we will send by name. You want names? You want us to put names on these? I put names on them. Because I put names on my prayers. If I know the names, I put the names on there. If you haven't needed, please. For Michael Sean, Jay Black, Kamari, Amani with Here's the Thing, Kamari the Financial Rebel, Dr. Aaron Smith, a.k.a. Fearless, for C. Chung, Sexy Mo, the entire Takeover Legend crew, we are gone. We'll be back tomorrow. Oh, I didn't get to the cell phone fast. I'm sorry, Ash. We're supposed to do a cell phone fast starting to. Let's try tomorrow. I'm sorry. End of the show. I'm sorry. I apologize. We got caught up. Running our mouths. Cell phone fast. I'm writing it down. I'm writing it in the book. I'm writing the book right now. Cell phone fast. Are we about that life? Cell phone fast. You know what the cell phone fast was, right? Was Kamari?
I don't.
We were gonna make a plan that you can't scroll or use social media from the time we leave here at 9 a.m. till the next morning.
I like that.
Can't post, can't scroll, can't do none of that for 24 hours. Can you do it? Can we go a whole 24? We're going to try it tomorrow. I promise. We're going to try it tomorrow. We're going to do a whole long thing in the beginning of the show so we can properly represent the cell phone fast. Can we do it? Is it social media fast? Maybe we'll do the social media fast. I don't know. Let me work on this. Tomorrow, we're gone. Go on there.
Michael Sean and the Takeover Legend, where the truth hurts, but also makes you laugh.